What's up, people? I am back for another video today. Oh, I'm still doing the Hellraiser video. I'm actually going to start it after this video. But I need a rant really quick. Really quick. Um, I saw this article the other day, and I originally wasn't going to do the video, but a friend of mine, Mara Jade, gave me the idea to actually do it. I originally wasn't, but figure I'd rant about this. I saw a retarded article from Screenrant the other day. They were bitching about how Lethal Weapon 4 has racist stereotypes. And from what I gathered from the article, they're basically saying they're supposed to, like, yeah, stereotypes, how Riggs mocked them. Even though one of the things in that movie, most of the fans, this is the thing I've always brought up, most fans that I've talked to are fans of Lethal Weapon love Jet Li as the villain. He tends to be most people's favorite villain in the franchise, or he's up there for like a lot of people. I mean, and if you watch the movie, he beats Riggs and Murtaugh's ass most of that final fight. It wasn't until like they basically Murtaugh and Riggs had to work together, and even then, it was still hard. And there was a good fucking Asian cop in the fucking team, so I don't even know what they're talking about. And the whole premise of the whole the movie was about saving the Hongs. But the movie's racist. Thank God. It just stems from them. They don't like Mel Gibson. I think this is just more of this, because Screenrant did an article like a week ago about how like Lethal Weapon 5 is gonna have trouble because Mel Gibson's passed. Because that's all this is. I think this is just an extended, so they just needed to fucking reach. Because Lethal Weapon 4 is easily, it's my third favorite in the franchise. It's for me it's the first one, then 3, and then 4. But it's, to me, is one of my favorite entries in the franchise. I think if anything, it heavily respects I guess specifically Chinese culture in this instance. But most people's favorite villains in the franchise is literally Jet Li. For me, he is the best. I mean, how cold he was. Yeah, he didn't talk much. And then, yeah, because I was watching Mara's stream earlier about it, and she brought up a really good point. Why aren't people talking to Jet Li about this? I mean, because if we're being honest, this is the movie I would argue that probably made Jet Li a star. Well, not a star, but it made him like, probably Hollywood go like, okay, we're going to start putting this guy in movies. Because it wasn't long after this when he started, because it was a couple years later, he did fucking Romeo Must Die, and then it just, through the early aughts to the mid-aughts even, Jet Li was just in so many movies. So I think, if anything, this was probably his big break, was this movie. Because before, he was doing stuff in, like, China, mainly in Hong Kong. So, this is the movie, I'd argue, that really let people know, yeah, he was a villain, but this is probably let the world know, yeah, Jet Li's the man, and he has a lot of screen time in the movie. And he is probably, I think he's personally the best villain in the franchise. I love fucking Gary Busey in the first movie, but yeah, Jet Li is easily the best villain in the franchise. So I don't understand where they're coming from, and there is literally a good Asian cop in the fucking in the movie. It's so fucking weird, man. Like, this weird, and the Riggs did an Asian voice. Fucking a lot of people did that, especially back in the 90s. It was just, I mean, that's what I'm wondering. Are they gonna fucking cry about Rush Hour now? Because Rush Hour 4 is happening. Are they gonna bitch about that? And bitch about, like, the making fun of the Asians in that movie? That's why I really do believe this is just an extension of them bitching about Mel Gibson. They just needed something, and they fucking reached. Because, in my opinion, this is Lethal Weapon 4 is one of the best in the franchise. I think it was a good way. For me, as much as I'm okay with Lethal Weapon 5 happening, I feel like Lethal Weapon 4 ends it fine. Riggs has a kid, ends up, having a kid and getting married. His arc is wrapped up. Murtaugh becomes a grandfather. Like, it, I think it wraps the story fine. And I think it's funny. I think it had some of the best fight scenes, some of the best jokes, in my opinion, were in this one. Just all, and I even liked having Chris Rock in it, even though he kind of was just basically playing Chris Rock. But I thought he was great. You know, obviously Joe Pesci's great. Like, all the character dynamics in general are great. I guess one I tend to watch the most. I watched the first one, 3. I like 2, but the apartheid stuff dates it for me. So I'll admit it's kind of hard to watch that one. Like, as I still think it's a good movie, but I don't rewatch it as much. I tend to watch 1, 3, and 4 like the most. But yeah, like, it's just, I don't know what Screenrant's smoking. They're fucking retarded. Like, it's this weird, like, oh, you can't make fun of other cultures, and that's not even what the movie was doing. If anything, it was honoring it. And even the fucking the fucking Jet Li's underling, even though he's kind of like the comedy act of the story, but even him, I thought he was a fun character. I guess that's the thing they were trying to say is stereotypical. Even like the scene where Riggs break, causes at his restaurant where they cause like the sprinkler and the guy does an like very stereotypical. But it was for comedy, and he was a comedy character. Like, I look at that character as kind of the Uncle Benny. That's what his fucking name was. Because it was like I was thinking of it. Yeah, Uncle Benny. Yeah, he was kind of a comedy character, but it's fine. And if anything, it's so dumb, man. But I just wanted to vent about that really quick because Screenrant are retarded. I think they just wanted to bitch about Mel, and this was just an extension of it because this is a reach. No one in the actual fandom, like, who loves these movies has ever bitched about this. Why don't they ask Jet Li about it and see how he feels about it? I bet you he loves this movie. And I didn't even know. I found out early. He really wanted to be in this movie, apparently. Yeah, he didn't speak much English at the time because at that point, he was still doing a lot of movies in Hong Kong. He wasn't the Jet Li we know until... I really think it was like Romeo Must Die was like his big first solo film where he's like the main character. But this is the movie that probably gave him that opportunity because it wasn't long after. This was 98, so a couple years later, like 2 years later, he did Romeo Must Die. So it's like, I think at that point, Hollywood really, hey, Jet Li, maybe we can start using him and stuff. So I don't understand why you would try to say this movie's racist. Most of the fans love Jet Li as the villain. He's probably their favorite, a lot of people's favorite villain. Even people who said like maybe 4 isn't their favorite, like Jet Li in it. Like, that's the biggest positive. Like, I've read like even some IMDb reviews where there were some people like who didn't like the movie, but they were like, I still like Jet Li. So I don't understand how fuck off, Screenrant. You're gay, and that's what the fucking gonna call this video. Screenrant is gay because you are. Fuck you. I just wanted to do this video really quick. I needed to get that off my chest. I normally don't do videos about articles, but that was fucking retarded. I really love Lethal Weapon's one of my favorite franchises. And it's one of the few where, yeah, all the movies are great. Like, I don't think there's a bad one in there. Like 2, I've said I don't rewatch as much, but I still like it. So, but yeah, this is retarded. Lethal Weapon 4 is great. Jet Li is great. Fuck Screenrant. Later tonight, I don't know what time, probably like maybe around 10 or 11. It'll be later, a couple hours from now. I'll be doing my Hellraiser review. Hellraiser Hellworld review. We'll see if that one is good. But I just wanted to get this out of the way really quick. But yeah, I'm gonna cheers and peace out. As usual. Fuck you, Screenrant. I'll talk to y'all in a couple hours for my Hellraiser 8 Hellworld review. Peace.